welcome back. I got here an ITT SL54 Automatic tape recorder. It's from, I believe I read on Radio Museum, this was in production from 1974 to 1976. So it's a very, very vintage tape recorder. And it's also very basic. Doesn't have a lot of features. It's just a simple mono tape recorder with a built-in microphone, tabletop, and portable as well. It can run off of the mains AC or off of batteries. Now see, so it's really basic. See, this opens the cassette door, and then you have just the basic functions. Rewind forward, start, stop and record, and the volume control. There is not even a tape counter, so it doesn't get much more bare bones than this. But it does look quite, well, typical, I would say. I chose this one to restore on the channel because it looks so... If you would have to think about a shoebox tape recorder, then this is what you would, something like this is what you would think about, right? So it looks quite typical. Now, I have already opened this thing up previously quickly to check and have a look inside to see if it was not too far gone for restoration. It looks to be quite okay inside. It is quite dirty, so I will have to do a lot of cleaning. But in terms of mechanics, I don't see any rust. So I think this is a good candidate for a restoration. Now, I do know already that there is something wrong with this, and that is the start doesn't hold down. So yeah, it does have a switch that detects if there is a cassette in place, so I have to push this switch with one finger before I can press the start button. But see, it doesn't latch down. And you can also see that there is here maybe a bit, I don't know if you can see it on the video, but here it's a bit chipped off. So I guess someone, well, jammed something in here to keep the button pressed down, and that damaged the switch here a bit. But see, if I try a couple of times, it should latch after a while. I have managed to get it to hold down a couple of times. Yeah, see. So now it's holding, but as soon as I give it a tap, it unlatches. So there's something wrong with the mechanism there. The rewind and the forward, they don't latch, but I don't even know if they should. No idea. Stop is working, recording, I have no clue. And here on the back, we have an AC connector. I don't know if I have the plug for this. I will have to check. And then a DIN plug. This is an input and an output, so you can connect another tape recorder to this, a turntable or a microphone. And then here on the back, and yeah, it is in quite nice cosmetical condition. It's not perfect. See, it is a bit scratched here, but it's not too bad. It's yeah, quite pretty actually. Very basic in terms of design, very functional design. The battery compartment also is still okay. Yeah, there is here a cylinder, plastic cylinder for the batteries, which is still intact. No corrosion. So yeah, that honestly doesn't look too bad. Now, how does this thing open up? Well, quite easily. There are just 4 screws. On each corner, 1 screw. And just to open up the case, you only need to release these 4 screws. If you also want to remove the chassis, which is what we will do later, then you need to also remove these 2 over here. So these are holes which are plugged with some rubber. So you need to remove the rubber and also remove the screws which are buried underneath here. But for the moment, let's just simply open it up. And for that you only need to loosen these 4 screws. And yeah, there is already 1 screw that fell out. And okay, the cap or the top cover should come off. I think this screw here on the left is not fully loose. Yeah. Now I also noticed there is a wire, so you have here is the speaker and here is the microphone, and these two are connected to the chassis, of course. So you have to pay attention a bit with the wiring. See, so there is the speaker, here is the microphone wire, and that one is hooked here across this, well, metal tab. Don't know exactly what it is, so you need to unclip the wire from there, and then you can just put the cover here next to it. Right, and then you see that it is quite dirty inside, right? See, so yeah, quite a bit of dust everywhere. That's the first thing I'm gonna do, is clean up as much of this dust as I can. For the rest, I don't see a lot wrong at first sight, except that all the belts are completely gone. They have dried out. And you see, here is this, that's the switch that detects if there is a tape inside, so then you can press the start button. Otherwise, if you don't press down that switch, the start mechanism is blocked. But as you see, yeah, it doesn't latch. And maybe also interesting to show you. See, so that's the top cover. See over here, these scratches, that's from someone jamming something in here to keep the start button in the play position. So yeah, clearly somebody has been struggling with this issue already in the past. So we're gonna try to find where the cause is of that problem and how to fix it. But first, I think I'm gonna do a bit of cleaning here before we go further, because this is not really a lot of fun to work on right now. That's already looking quite a lot better. Now let's see if we can get this mechanism out, and if I am correct in saying that you should disconnect these other two screws. Now I'm just going to, oh, there are pieces of old rubber falling out. I'm just gonna put this back, because you cannot put this on its head with the cover loose. If it wants to go back in, at least. It does not. Right, okay. Now let's see if we can pry open these two holes here. Yeah, this one is coming out. Yes. It's funny that only one of the 4 screws fell out. The other ones are still in there. Let's see if I can get this hole open. Okay. Also Phillips head screws. Yeah, these are coming out. It's the same ones as the 4 that we loosened earlier. Okay, put it back on its feet. And now I guess that we need to loosen these two. See, we have here the motor is a Sankyo. Do I see a date code? Not really. 40. So I have 11-14113, and then here I have 40821-C. If somebody knows the date code, I don't see a date. Should be somewhere in the middle of the 70s. Maybe the 4 means 1974? I don't know. I'm not an expert in the date codes for these motors. See, but nobody has taken this chassis out before because I don't. It's a bit overexposed. But see, you can see this glue here. These two screws, they are still glued in place. So we are the first one here. Now it's convenient to work on something that doesn't take up that much space on my bench for a change. I think these are the ones that you need to loosen. I have downloaded the service manual, and the service manual is really, really extensive. So everything on how to dismantle this thing is very extensively explained in the service manual, but at the moment I'm a bit too lazy to check it. Yeah, so the chassis is loose indeed. Okay. Maybe I should check the service manual because everything is connected together here. There is still some stuff that I can clean up here. And here on the bottom side, we have access to the chassis, and there you can, wait, I will give you a better view. See, so here we have the flywheel and the rubber belt that has completely disintegrated. See, it has completely gone hard and started to develop some mold. But it's better than it goes hard than compared to when it becomes sticky, right? So it should be not a big deal to clean this up. Here, this is the motor, the spindle of the motor that seems to be turning still freely. So I have some more cleaning to do here, and I will check the manual on what is their recommended approach to take this out, and then I will come back to you when I know more about this. Yeah, so like this, it is resting more or less stable. See, not sure yet if I need to take it further apart. Probably I will have to, but we'll see about that. I'm gonna take off this PCB here now and see what is underneath and if we can reach the mechanism from that. Wow, that's very tight. Okay, that was really tight. Let's see if I can reach that one. Yeah, this will be in the way of the video camera, I guess, but yeah, man, those screws were very tight. Let's take them out, and the washers as well. Okay. Is this PCB loose now? Yes, it is, but there is a lot of wires, a lot of jumpers dangling about here. There seems to be a bit of corrosion. Does it fold out? That's the main question. It is hanging here on these wires. There are some transistors, so you can see here there are two output transistors bolted here to the side of the chassis. And okay, this board is not folding open. I guess these wires are the culprits here. Which wire is... this one here needed a bit of slack. Oh, something fell off. That's these plastic washers. Okay. Quite a bit of capacitors on here that we will need to change. Now I have a good look for the mechanism. Let's see if we can find what's wrong with the start button. Okay, a slight change of plans. I am cleaning these rollers here of their the belt remnants that are still in there. Some parts have gone, turned it a bit into goo, see, so that I need to clean up. Same here, there is also some goo over there. Most part of it is just quite dry and brittle and just breaks apart quite easily. See, I've already also cleaned that switch over there. See, that switch is pressed when you press the play button. I believe, I'm not sure, I have to check the schematic, I'm not sure yet. I think that's the one that, damn it, that activates the amplifier. This is, I guess, for the motor, and dictates the direction in which the motor is has to turn. So I just want to know if the motor is working, and also if the amplifier is working. So I'm thinking about, wait, I can't test it like this. No, I just wanted to clean things up here and then see if I can put some new belts and see if this thing is working like it is. But see, so there is another issue. See, so pay attention to that switch. If I press the play button, see, so if I press the play button, that switch is closed, or should be closed, see? But then, because it doesn't latch far enough, see, it opens up again. Yeah, I don't think you can see it, but if I let go of the switch, the button, it may be touching or maybe just not touching, and that has to do with the issue with the latching mechanism. So we'll have to figure that out later. Maybe I can hook up the power supply and see what is working here and what not. So the power supply is hooked up. I have the negative here. This is the negative connection, and then the positive, I have it to the battery terminal. Normally this thing runs on 7.5 volts, I believe. Yeah, 5 batteries of 1.5, indeed, 7.5. I have 5 volts on the power supply, just to be a bit careful. Let's see. Obviously, if there is no button pressed, nothing's gonna happen here. So I'm just gonna try forward first, fast forward, and check if the motor will run. Yeah, that's running, indeed, in that direction, and rewind. Yeah, now it's running in the other direction. So that seems to work. Okay, now play is more difficult to activate, but let's try anyway. Ugh. Yeah, see, it doesn't latch. So annoying. Okay. Well, the motor is running, but I can't hear any hum or any crackling or anything whatsoever. But as I said, I think that switch is not making contact. No. Nothing. Can't hear anything. Let's go to 7 volts. Nope. I cannot believe that the amplifier would not crackle when here in play mode. So for a quick repair, I guess this is fine to work on it like this. But if you really need to do a lot of work like I'm gonna need to do, I don't think this is the most convenient way to work on it. Now this is the way that it is proposed in the service manual, but that's just for a repair, I guess. So what I'm gonna do is completely separate the chassis of the tape recorder from the electronics. Now that's gonna require a bit of work, and it's gonna be a bit scary, but that's why I'm gonna film everything so that you can do the same, and also mainly for selfish reasons, that I have the reference of what I did and how to put it back together. So first thing I'm gonna do is desolder here the wires that are going through to the two heads, to the erase head and the playback record head. The two wires that I'm talking about is this is the blue one here, this blue one, that is for the erase head, and then there is a white one over here, I believe. Yeah. Or a gray one. You cannot see it maybe on the video, but it's coming in over here from that side. That's the playback and record head. I'm gonna see if, yeah, I've got smudges on my fingers from the belts. Gonna see if we can remove it. It's a bit against my hand here, but okay. So these wires, they are shielded. They have an internal, let's say, conductor for the signal, and then a shield. So just make sure that you put the correct part of the wire in the correct spot here on the PCB. I'm just gonna be careful when desoldering this. Okay, that was quite a bit of solder on there. We're gonna remove the solder later. So this is, I guess, the inner, yeah, this is the, where is this, the shield? Anyway, the yellow part here sticking out is on the far edge, and then here we have the small white wire. Okay, that's coming off quite easily. And I'm gonna leave that solder in place because we can use it later just to put these back. That went better than expected. Now the playback head is maybe gonna be a bit more difficult because that one is sticking through the PCB. Right, so let's do the shield first. That's this blob over here, and I'm just gonna put my finger here on it. This is difficult. Wait, do I have something else? Yeah, I'm gonna pry this tool here. Okay, like that, and then it should be this one. Yeah, there it is. That is, I don't know, it's the shield, I guess. Yeah. So that's that blob. I'm just gonna remove that piece of solder because there we will have to stick it through the PCB. And then it's easier if we have just a hole to stick it through, and I will put some new solder on it when I'm assembling things back together. Right, okay. Yeah, so from the tape head you have two wires coming through. Since it's a mono head, I guess one for playback and one for record. I'm not sure, I haven't really checked the schematic, but let's just do the same trick. Put here my tool behind this wire. These are the two connection points for the head. And let's desolder this one. See, that's the white one. And then the next one, if I can get my tool behind it, yes, that's this guy. That's the red one. Okay, so this is the red one, that's the white one, and that's the shield. And let's also clean out these solder points. Just to make sure that we can easily put everything back together in the end. Okay. Right. Next step. Over there, those are the two, I guess those are the two output transistors. In the meantime, I have printed the schematic here. and I'm just using this as a reference. Now, I have to say, the service manual for this thing is incredible. It's by one of the best service manuals I've seen in a long, long time. It's 24 pages just for this tape recorder, and it's explained in a very extensive detail how everything is working, both mechanically and electronically. It's impressive. I can show you later, but let's continue with this for the moment. Yeah, so see, you have two transistors on the output. There is an, I can quickly show it here. So this is the output section, right? So you have the speaker, and then you have here a pair of transistors. It's not a push-pull, or maybe it is, but it's two transistors of the same polarity. See, they are both PNP transistors, 2SB495, and these are not on the PCB, as shown over here. See, they are connected to the PCB, but they are mounted against the chassis. So we will remove those as well. And that's hopefully going to be as simple as taking off this screw. Yeah, they are held in place with the washer on the other side in between the two transistors. So if I remove that screw, it's not completely loose yet. Now it is. They are loose, but I cannot lift it out yet because now, see this wire here, this is the power supply board. It's tiny PCB, and that one also can come off. Let me just take this. Well, no, I can leave that screw in. Is that also with a washer on that side? Or with a nut? It's just a washer. Okay. There is a screw. Am I still in shot here? Just checking the camera. Yeah. Okay. See, I'm not damaging any wires here. Wow, that's a tight screw. What is happening? It is coming out. Yeah. I'm hoping that I can detach everything electronically here from the chassis, because working on it like this is not gonna be easy. I'm just keep pushing this screw in. Come on. Oh, I just keep pushing it further down there. Okay, I will get that out later. Right. Let me refocus you a bit to that side. Okay, so now this tiny PCB is also loose. Then next there are the two switches. Wait, I can reposition the camera here to the other side. This is the motor switch, so that switches in the motor in either direction, depending on which side it is activated. This switch switches in the power to the amplifier. So that cuts off all the power from the amplifier when it's open, and when you press play, this entire mechanism here slides upwards. See, like that. And it closes that switch, and that switch then powers up the amplifier. Now you see that everything is hooked up to these two switches as well, so we're going to remove also these two switches. If it is looking scary for you, then it's also looking scary for me. So I just hope that we're going to get this back together. Now I hope that because of the fact that I'm making a video about this, and because of the fact that I have a very good service manual, it should be no problem. Famous last words. Just don't want to drop this screw anywhere, and it's not. And I'm just gonna hold it with my finger. I think now it's completely out. And new. Yeah, okay. Let me. Oh, and there is also a tiny washer. It's totally. Is it glued in there perhaps? Yeah, I think it's glued in place. Yeah, it's glued in place. I really need this switch to come out, because if I'm gonna work on the electronics while they are removed from the chassis, I obviously need to be able to power it. So I need this to come out. Okay, I think I'm getting it pried loose here. Yeah, there it comes. Okay, perfect. Yeah, that was glued in place. Understandable. And then this is the motor switch that also needs to come off. Now the advantage of these switches coming off is also that we will be able to very easily clean them. Let's take another screwdriver here. That one is also glued in place. Oh, it comes off rather easily. Just gonna pry underneath here in the corner. Yeah. Come on. Just to make sure that not to bend the contacts. I think, is this screw fully out? Yes, it is. Yeah, I think I can pry underneath it from this side. Or yeah, so there is quite a bit of glue underneath, and I finally managed to get it out now. See, so this is the switch, and you see that the contacts are quite tarnished, so we can clean those more easily now as well. Let me take out this screw. Okay, oh, don't lose it. Now I got two options here. Either I leave the motor in place and then I need to desolder here this brown wire, or I also take out the motor. I'm more in favor of also taking out the motor. Now the thing is, where do I easily take it out? There are three screws, two here on top and one here from this side, I believe, and they are also glued in place, so, but they come off rather easily. They have a locking washer underneath, and I drop them again in the same spot. Oh, yeah, it's also going down on there. I will get that out afterwards and then remove this one. Well, I think this is the only way to really decently be able to work on this. And wow, I just have to make sure that I don't break anything. I'm pushing down here on this screw to get this out. No, that's not fitting. This one doesn't really fit either. This one, not at all. And go back to this guy. Oh my god, that's not... Just to make sure that I... Oh, this screw... No, Yeah, you know, I'm gonna do this off camera because I really need to have a good position here, or I'm gonna damage the screw. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm just gonna take out the screw, right? I'm just gonna do it off camera to be sure that I get it out safely. And that's the result. All the electronics are now over here, completely separate from the mechanics of the chassis. So now I can work on both things separately. And even more importantly, I think the electronics will still work. If I be careful, if I plug it in, then I should be able to work on these electronics while still running them separately from the the chassis of the tape recorder in place, because the only thing you need to do is close this switch, and that would provide power to the amplifier. So yeah, now I can work on both things completely separately. So I know that the issue with the start button not latching is in the push button mechanism. Yeah, sorry for my dirty fingers, but I keep on cleaning them and I keep on getting them dirty from the rubbers, the remnants of the rubber belt. See that guy over there, that is also turned to goo. So see, so every time I touch that, then also, yeah, my fingers get smudged. So forgive me for that one. Now, what was I saying? The start button not latching. The latching mechanism or the locking mechanism is inside the push button assembly. So I'm gonna try to get these the buttons off. I also read in the service manual that the forward and the rewind functions are designed in such a way that they don't lock. So you need to keep pressing the button down while forwarding or rewinding. So there is nothing wrong with those. It's only the start button that is not latching correctly. So I think they are only held in place, or the first thing we need to remove are these two screws over here. Well, I hope I keep everything in shot, because the field of view of the camera is quite narrow in like this. So any apologies up front if I get something out of shot. All these screws, obviously, they are glued in place, but luckily, after so many years, the glue is not super strong anymore. It's already falling down. And let's unlock the other one as well. Okay. Should come off already. Right, there we have it. Just gonna put the rest of the chassis aside for a moment. Let's investigate this thing. See, there is also quite a bit of dirt in there. And I don't know if I can reach it like this. I can already see what is the locking mechanism. You see, now it locks. What the heck? Yeah, no, doesn't lock decently. See, because I can simply unlock it with a small amount of pressure. See that one, the record button, that one locks perfectly fine, but the play button, not at all. I am afraid that we have a worn out part here, which would be a bummer. The only way I can see to gain access there is to remove this cover plate, and I hope that everything will not be flying in all directions if I remove the cover plate. Whoa, this is... yeah, that's not gonna work with this. Oh, maybe it will. Just have to make sure that I don't break my pliers here, because that is quite sturdy metal. Yeah, that's gonna work. Okay, now the other side, and let's hope that everything doesn't shoot across the room when I remove that cover plate here. Now prying it open, I guess. Okay, this one is not completely straight. It's not really, still quite a bit bent. come off. Yeah. Now the other side, that one is also still a bit bent. Okay. That one is also coming off. Let's see. Yeah, lots of dirt inside here. But I don't think... Yeah, so that cover plate doesn't do anything in the mechanism. That's nice. Yeah, I'm just gonna clean this all up and then we can have a look here what is worn. But I believe that this part here, so this hook, so this if you press the play button, then it hooks behind this tab over here, and that is missing, or that is worn out. The tip of that piece is worn out. So not sure yet what I will be able to do about that, but let's first clean this up because now it's also not great. I've got good news and bad news. The good news is I found the problem. The bad news is I don't yet really know how to solve it. See, so this here, that's the start button, which doesn't lock in position. Now with the knobs out of the chassis, it does lock in position because there is no pressure on it. But if I slightly push it, it already moves upward again. And contrary to the record button, which I can press as hard as I would like, it doesn't unlatch. Now, the reason is two things. First of all, so this piece of metal, which is basically the hook to keep this plunger or this lever latched down, that's worn out. See, so this corner has been completely rounded off. If you compare that to the corner of, let's say, the record switch here, you see this corner is much more pointy. Same with the other ones. See this one here as well. So that's problem number one. That's the most difficult one because I really have no idea on how to fix that. Problem number two, let's see if I can have this show up, is that over there, let me see if I can focus. Not sure how good this shows up on camera, but here is also this hook, which you have here in this lever from the button. It's also worn out. See, here you have there is almost a slit here which has been cut in the metal, which makes the top part of this lever here very thin, almost half as thin as what it should be. And the combination of those two things really causes this, latching mechanism to be not working. See, the slightest you push it, it unlocks. That's because these two parts here are worn out. Now, how to fix this? I have a couple of ideas, but none of them will be perfect, I guess. The problem is you could bend this a bit, but see, this is sitting in these guides, and then it will rub against the sides here. It's not ideal. I cannot move this shaft or this rod, which slides and latches and unlatches the entire mechanism. I cannot move this more to the left because it's already completely at the end here. If I would cut out here these sides a bit, causing this entire mechanism to shift maybe like 1 millimeter to the left, that would solve this problem of the missing tip that I have here at this rounded off corner, because all this part would move more to the left, but I can't do that because it's here already completely at the edge. The only relatively easy thing I see to do is swap these two buttons around. So these two buttons are identical. So this is the start button or the play button, and this is the fast forward. The fast forward button is not made to latch or to lock in the down position. See, this pin here is longer than that one, so it never fully latches. But that means that the top part here is also not worn out, and it doesn't have to latch. So if I would swap these two buttons around, I would again have here a good lever here on the top. So that would probably help, but it's still, we still have the issue that this part here is completely rounded off. I don't know how to fix it perfectly. I've been thinking about this for a while now, and I don't know how to do it. But I think what I can try is to swap the buttons around, maybe fiddle a bit by bending this thing here a bit to the right, and hope that that will solve things slightly. But yeah. Now, swapping these buttons around, I hope that it is rather straightforward. Let's see if I can unhook this clip here. Am I still in shot? Yes, I am still in shot. Am I still focused? Probably not. So yeah, if I can take this clip off, that came off easily. This should slide to the left. Yes. Okay. That slides out. Now, what is going to happen here? The springs are probably going to fly everywhere. Maybe, yeah, I don't know. Let's just pull it out. Okay. Let's take off this spring here. Right. Okay. That spring is out. Does the button also come out now? It should. Yes. Okay. That's out. Then same with this spring. Okay. Take that one out. See, now you can clearly see the difference here. Let me see here. This point here is completely round. This one is nice and sharp. The buttons yeah, see, let me see if I can focus. See, here you can clearly see where this has cut a groove really in the metal. There you can clearly see it. That causes the top part of this metal to be almost rounded off and thin. So I think, let me try to put these buttons back in the reverse position. So swapping the two buttons around. Okay. And now the spring. How does that go in? Okay, that goes in there. You have to first put the spring in that hole, then shaft the rod inside. Shaft the rod, what the hell? Push the rod inside, or push the shaft inside. And then I have to attach the spring. Almost there. Oh, shit. In the wrong hole. Damn it. Okay. What's happening? Okay. Whoa, I need to stop doing this or everything will fall apart. Okay, that button is in place. Now the next one. Same thing. Put the button in place. Slide the shaft slightly. Then the spring. Like this, yes. in the hole. Come on. Darn. Let's try that again. Okay, that's in. Okay. I'm just gonna push the rod all the way through that nothing falls out. Okay, that's in. Now the spring. Okay. And now this C-clip here at the end. Right. That might work. That might work. No, it doesn't. Let me just put this one back on there. Okay. No. It's better. Wait. It works, I think. This might work. Huh. This actually might work. Well, for how long, I guess. See, because maybe after 50 tries or so, this also will start wearing out again. And see, I can push it really hard and it doesn't unlock. So that's not bad. Yeah, this doesn't need to latch, so that's no problem. And we still have a button left here, so if this one wears out, we can swap these two around. No, I mean, oh shit, see? Yeah, if I wiggle it a bit, it's still not the best. See, there's no way I can get this one to release, but this one, yeah, it's much better than it was, but it's still not the best. Okay, so what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna leave it like it is now, I think, and then maybe try to bend this slightly, just ever so slightly, because I cannot bend it a lot, because I have here this margin only of this groove or this track where it needs to ride in. And then I am also going to put some new grease, because I cleaned everything, forgot to mention, I cleaned everything. I cleaned off the old grease, put it in the ultrasonic cleaner, and this mechanism is perfectly clean now, but now all the grease is gone, so I'm going to apply some new grease here on all the contact points. So here on the where it slides, on these pins, and yeah, I think that's about it. I don't think it slides at the back here, maybe it does, but I'm gonna put new grease wherever it belongs and then put this thing back together. Yeah, this is back together. That went together quite easily, and I greased everything what needed to be greased, and touch wood, but it seems to be working, see? And no matter how hard I push this now, well, no matter how hard, maybe I shouldn't exaggerate, but it seems like it's holding its place. So this, well, we'll see once it is in the machine how well it works, but I think this part is done. It's the first part of the recorder that we finished, and that was the biggest issue so far. Now, next step is the rest of the mechanism. I already cleaned out the remnants of the old belts. That was quite a bit of work as well, because some parts had gone sticky and were really deep inside the grooves here. So cleaning out these 4 wheels was quite a bit of work, but that's done. Now I will still need to do quite a bit of cleaning here on top. I'm not gonna film that because it's just me with isopropyl alcohol and Q-tips cleaning off everything here. And I'm gonna, maybe I will disassemble some parts. That I will show on the video if I disassemble something, but I'm gonna try to avoid disassembling as much as possible because I don't want to get the alignment of the heads completely out of whack. If I would have to remove this entire piece here, for example, then yeah, the heads come off as well. And I don't want to do that. I just gonna see if I can get it working smoothly and reliably with just cleaning and without taking things apart. So the first thing I'm going to do now is turn on my music, the radio here, listen to some music, and just go ahead, clean everything up. And when that's done, we need to start finding a solution for this piece of rubber here, which is completely turned to goo. And I'm also going to remove the capstan to clean inside the shaft of the capstan. And then the backside, well, this old grease will need to be replaced, I guess. But yeah, I'm starting to make sense of this now. And it looks like this might still work one day. Yeah, okay. So, I think I'm almost done here with cleaning. This entire front side has been cleaned and the places that I could reach have been lubricated again or greased again. So what I did is, yeah, first of all, everything cleaned, obviously. This was removed, this bracket and this plastic piece that comes off rather easily. Underside has also been cleaned, the old grease removed and new grease applied. Now the old grease was actually still in okay-ish condition. There was just a bit of dust stuck in there, so I figured, well, since I'm in here anyway, let's just replace it with some new grease. And I used white lithium grease everywhere. So yeah, this is looking quite okay. These two brackets here have also been removed, cleaned and greased again on the underside. If you remove these, pay attention, there is a very small ball bearing underneath here and there, that you don't lose that. The entire area here of the heads has also been cleaned. This has been re-lubricated. That's the rewind and the fast forward, see? That's this area. So I think the front side is done. The only thing I wanted to show you here is the head, the state of the head, which I don't think is that great. I don't know how well this shows up on camera. I hope it is focused. Let me see here. Should be in focus. There is quite a bit of wear on the head. I don't know if you can see it on the video, but I believe that the major part here is some wear, maybe even some corrosion on the record area itself or the play area itself. So that bothers me a bit, and I'm a bit worried about that. But nothing I can do at the moment. We'll see how well it still performs. The erase head looks perfect though, also after cleaning. Then there is this small post here. There was, as I already explained, the rubber here around, and that rubber had gone completely deteriorated into goo. So that has been removed and cleaned up as well. I just need to figure something out to replace it with. I don't know yet. I need to find maybe a piece of rubber to cut and drill a hole in there. I don't know how what I will put around here to fix that. On the bottom side, nearly the same thing. Most of this has already been done, except this area over here. So this has all been done. This entire bracket here, that's for the record function, has also been removed. All the old grease, there was quite a lot of it here, both on top side and on the bottom side, has all been cleaned off, and some new white lithium grease as well applied. That looks fine. This here as well on the underside has been cleaned, new grease applied. Yeah, this wheel over here has a big flat spot. You can see it right here, see? That is because it has been sitting in this position. See, it almost locks in place, see? It has been sitting in that position probably for many decades. And that caused a flat spot here on this rubber wheel, which is a bit annoying because you can hear it when you turn the flywheel, see? Yeah, it probably doesn't show up on the camera, you probably won't hear it, but I can hear it do like tick, 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 tick every time it passes the flywheel. I don't think it's a big issue though, because it's only used for rewind and fast forward, because if you put the mechanism in play, like this, difficult to do. Wait, let me just do it like this. So now the mechanism is in play mode, and come on. See, then it releases this wheel from the flywheel, so it doesn't interfere with the flywheel. It should not have any effect on the wow and flutter, so I'm gonna leave it like it is for the moment. Now the next thing to do is I'm gonna remove the flywheel and clean underneath, and also clean the capstan, because the flywheel is, well, that capstan is attached to the flywheel if you don't know how a tape mechanism works. So I'm going to remove that, clean the flywheel and the capstan and underneath here, and then because that's a very crucial part of the mechanism, I just wanted to show you this on camera, or share this on camera as well. So this is, the flywheel is held in place with a bracket, and here on top there is a plastic washer. It's an yeah, it's, how do you say it, an oil blocking washer or something. It's to, if you oil up the capstan, that the oil doesn't creep out forward and comes in contact with the tape. But the first thing you should do is take off this bracket, and it is very stuck. Well, it's glued in place. Let me see if I have a better screwdriver for this. That's not a better screwdriver. I'm just going to go back to this one. Okay. Just wanted to show this on camera as well, because it is a crucial step, and it's probably something that needs to be done on every cassette mechanism if you're restoring one. See, it has these second, whoa, it's already coming off. Okay, right. Now this should come off, the flywheel, if I can get this part out of the way. Yeah, see, so this washer, it's automatically coming off. Maybe it's best to actually take it off. See, there it is. Put that aside, that I don't lose it. And to be able to remove this flywheel, you need to take this off. And there is also a washer or a retaining clip over here, which we need to loosen. If I can get underneath with this tool. Jesus. So be careful with this, because it's also made out of plastic. Come on. Okay, that's off. So I'm gonna put that aside carefully. Now this should come off, and there is a spring which now detached. So we need to remember to put that back. Now this entire thing can come out. See, like that. I'm just gonna put this back for now. And here we have our flywheel and capstan. Oh, watch out, there is also a tiny washer over here. Let's take this off as well. Okay, so what I am going to do now is, see, there is still some old grease over there. I'm going to clean that off and replace it with new grease. I am going to clean the capstan and also clean out the shaft here, or this, yeah, the shaft that the capstan goes through. And then we're going to lubricate this with oil, not with grease, with fine oil, very slightly. And then I'm going to put the capstan back and the flywheel. And then I think we are done with the mechanical part. Yeah, that's done. Now let's put it back. Let's put the capstan back. But before we put the capstan back, let's lubricate it. Now this is really fine machine oil for sewing machines. And we're just gonna put a tiny bit here on the shaft. Now you don't need a lot. A drop is probably already too much. Yeah, let's give this a shot and see if I can apply here a tiny bit. I think that's already enough. See if I can spread this out here a bit over the full shaft. Okay. That looks good. Once it's in, I'm gonna clean out the tip because we don't want to get this oil in contact with the tape, of course. Now let's put this back. I'm gonna put it in like this and then lift this out of the way. Why doesn't this want to go back now? Ah, is it? No, like that. No, it's not. What is happening here? Ah, okay, this wheel, all right, that wheel was blocking things. Okay, that's in. Let's first put this washer back. Oh, you see, I already forgot the washer underneath. See, so there was this guy sitting here. You see how quickly you can lose things or forget to put things back? All right, now let's do this again. Okay. And again, why doesn't this want to? Right, okay. Like that. That's better. And okay. Right. Now let's put this guy back. That's this tiny plastic washer. Come on. I think that's in place. Yeah. That's okay. And here on this side, we're gonna put this, well, plastic, this, transparent plastic washer over here. And that's, like I explained, to keep the oil from dripping down and coming in contact with the tape. Like that. And I'm just gonna clean the capstan here, because we do have a bit of oil on there. I might clean it off better before we actually use it, but just for now, this should do. And now we're gonna put this bracket back. Now, as you can see here, you can position this bracket. See these holes, they are oblong, so not circular. So you can position this up and down depending on how it should be positioned. You can adjust the height of this bracket, but since these washers are still in there glued, I'm just going to use the old position again and put it exactly back how it was. I hope I'm doing all of this on camera, and I hope that everything is in focus. Okay. And now the only thing left is to put these push buttons back. Well, everything is back together, and I'm really happy with the result. You see, I put the push button mechanism back. A couple of other things that I did. I forgot here to lubricate this area before I put the flywheel back, so I did that. See, that area over there has also been greased up with some lithium grease. This spring here, I also still needed to connect that one, so I had to take this off again, connect the spring. That has been done. What else? Here, this post, look, I put a new rubber on there. This is just the isolation of a piece of audio cable. So I took a piece of 2-pole shielded audio cable, stereo audio cable basically, and the thickness was perfect for this post. So I cut off a piece, it's about 1 centimeter, I guess, cut it off on the right length, shoved it over there, and it's perfect. It's also a bit soft, a bit rubbery, so this will serve perfect, and it looks like new. It looks perfectly original. That's awesome that that this just... my eye just fell onto this cable in the closet, and then I said, okay, let's give it a go, and it fits perfectly. Well, I really like how this looks now. It looks almost brand new. It looks like a new mechanism, and I think mechanically it also works pretty well. See, this is rewind, and as I said, this doesn't lock. It's by design. So this is rewind, fast forward. Those are working very well. The play function also working very well now. It's locking in place quite nicely. See? Doing perfectly what it does. The record also works pretty well. Record plus play together. And the stop. Yeah, I like it. That's all I can do for the moment on this. I cannot put the belts on because I don't have the motor. The motor is with all the electronic stuff. So I think that's quite enough for this video. I think it will be long enough. We're gonna do the electronics in the next part. So if you like this restoration, then I hope I'll see you in the next part. Then we can hopefully get this running again. So I'd like to thank you for watching, and I hope I'll see you in the next video. Take care. Bye bye.